The Bearded Ox is a custom lumber manufacturer and furniture producer. Well, it started with me and a buddy running around the nation collecting all the equipment, and now I've got a full-time 3D designer in-house, does all of our CAD CAM stuff for our CNC. We've got 6 people here in the shop working, actually producing. Coming up on 2 years ago, we moved into this location. We used to have 5,000 square feet on the production floor, and now we have almost 2 acres of yard and 12,500 square feet for building, so it's definitely easier with more space. The line, I say it all the time to every client that comes in: don't tell me what you'll sell it for, tell me what you want. Because we're gonna build it custom, it might as well be what you want. We built a custom desk for a lady. She was vertically challenged and said, every furniture piece I've had my whole life, I feel like I'm swimming in it. I want one that's made for me. So we made her office desk exactly to her size, so she's perfect in it every day. And that's the benefit, is that you can come in, you can hand select the very slabs of wood we're gonna use, pick every last detail out, and we'll just make it like that, exactly how you want it. We built this whole thing on gravy, which is custom order handmade furniture, which is a pretty hard market to get into and sustain yourself, but we've done that. So now we're adding the meat and potatoes, which would be exterior doors, dining chairs, lounge chairs, stuff like that, because we can ship those continent-wide. You can find us at 116 Kenyon Drive, and that's right beside the Lethbridge Airport. Look for all the horizontal trees in the yard, and you'll know you're there.